Good afternoon, everyone. This is my first time moderation, so please, just keeping it very simple. So today we have stalwarts and entrepreneurs from retail industry who has done great in their industry verticals, and I would like them to start introducing themselves and what are the portfolio companies they own and what is the size of the growth which they have done in last 3 years. Can we start with you, Akash?
Hi guys, I'm Aakash Anand. I run a few companies. I started with a company called BellaVita, which is now a predominantly a perfume company. I started that in 2018. We started the perfumes business in 2021, and today BellaVita is the biggest perfume company in India. We do close to 450, 500 crores per annum in net revenues. Apart from that, I have a few other companies at my firm, Ananta Capital, where I'm a partner, including Guardian Pharmacies, GNC Protein, Springwell Mattresses, Bevzilla Coffee, and we are venturing out into more different sectors in retail.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ashim Patil. I am the promoter of i-TEK RFID. So this is we started this. I started this company almost 2 decades ago, when RFID, even the acronym needed to be explained and a tag needed to be demonstrated. This is a startup, 20-year-old startup. It's a bootstrap company started by me in 50,000 rupees. And today we have a lot of fabulous projects which we have done. Our flagship project is FASTag. Everybody knows the tolling FASTag. So we have 60% market share in FASTag RFID today. So around 200 crore Indian rupees collected every day digitally. We contribute to almost 120 crores of that. So not only on the tag on the windshield of the vehicle, but also infrastructure on the national highways. So more than 3,000 lanes we operate. Similarly, in export-import container sealing, the RFID seals are something which we do across 105 ports and ICDs in the country for more than 3,500 exporters of India. And in retail, we are doing item level RFID supply chain and inventory visibility solution for the likes of Reliance Retail, Tata Trent, Aditya Birla, and many other brands. And that's what brings me to the RAI event. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Jatin Sikka, and I am from Blackberries. I am the Deputy General Manager for the looking after franchisee business for the company. As far as my company is concerned, it is started in 1991. It is more than 30 years plus company, and looking at like offline, online business. So currently we are having more than 300 doors, which is company owned store as well as EBOs. It's a franchisee owned business. If we'll talk about across country, we are at like more than 1400 touch point across country, and two is in Nepal, which we developed last year, and it is around 300 plus cities where we are available in different shapes of business in terms of MBO, franchisee owned, and EBOs, along with LFRs as well as online.
Thank you, Jatin.
Good afternoon. I'm Niraj Jaipuria, founder, CEO at BIRetail.
I think everyone knows you, Niraj.
Thank you. But at BIRetail, we just help retailers and brands make sense of data, drive data-driven decision making, which goes a little beyond technology. Essentially, it's more retail solution driven. And of course, we use technology in the background, but that's not the objective. The objective is to solve retail problems. I founded this company about 17 years ago, and like I said, we only do analytics, and we only do analytics for retailers. So it's a very niche area. Fortunate to say that today in this hall, happy to see a lot of my customers with us today. We worked across verticals in fashion, apparel, footwear, hypermarket, supermarket, electronics, and specialty retail. So yes, happy to be on this, and look forward to sharing ideas. Thank you.
Hi everyone. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Siddhant Gupta. I'm the founder of Chic Clothing Company. We are a brand in the women apparel space. We currently have 60 stores across the country, also in Dubai and Singapore. We all have, they're all exclusive stores. And we currently also have about a 20% revenue contribution from our online website for the brand. So it's exciting to be here and be a part of all the discussions.
Namaskar everyone. I'm Vijay Kumar here. I represent a company called Rare Planet. I'm one of the co-founders of the company. We have retail outlets and most of them are in airports, mostly concentrating on airport retail. So currently we have almost in all the airports, we are there. We cross around 50 plus stores as of now in India, uh, mainly concentrating on gift and souvenirs. That's the portion.
It's nice that our panel consists of two entrepreneurs who are based out of airports, two tech providers, and two core retailers with franchisees. Amazing. That's a good combination. So, just let me quickly ask Akash, as a founder of BellaVita, which predominantly takes care of the perfume industry, how do you see the growth and what was the reason of investing in perfume as a brand? Because we have a lot of perfumes out there. How does your company differentiates from the offerings?
So of course we have a lot of perfumes out there, Manikanth, but we don't have quality perfumes at an affordable price. So with me, I've always been a consumer who's always wanted to get products which are affordable, but मेरी वो typical mentality है कि अगर मैंने पैसा दिया है, I want to be the king. And that typical mentality of saying that I want the best at the most affordable cost. And that's what I saw with BellaVita, where I found you can say an opening in the market, or I found a small hack where I was able to create perfumes which match luxurious global perfumes in India, but at 1/10 of the cost. So with Bella Vita, it was simple. The perfume you will find for about 7, 8, 10,000 rupees at any big brand. I won't name them. That similar perfume or the same quality perfume you can get at Bella Vita for about 500 to 700 rupees. And we saw that market. So when Fog captured the entire deodorant market, we said that there is also a gap where we can have perfumes given to everyone, making them very, very affordable so that the entire country smells amazing. And I think once we found that market gap and a PMF about 2 years back, we just went crazy scaling the business.
So you started online first,
Online first,
and
correct.
now you're in offline.
Correct.
With 75 stores across, if I
Correct.
understand.
Correct.
So is the, all those stores are Coco or Foco?
No, they are owned by the company.
Company owned. And are you looking to expand more?
Correct, we are. So once we reached a certain limitation online where we were seeing we're doing 35 odd crores every month, where there was no more room to grow because now we are just growing as per the CAGR of the online market. जैसे online बढ़ रहा है वैसे हम भी बढ़ रहे हैं and we're trying to create new consumers, but we started getting queries from people कि यार हमें offline भी चाहिए. And that's when we started opening Coco stores, company owned, company operated. We have about 75 stores right now. We should be about 300 stores strong by the end of next year, and we're opening them very strategically in malls and high streets where we know our consumers are the biggest purchasers online. So wherever we see that the online consumption is coming from, that's where we first open our offline store as well.
Cool. On the contrary, Siddhant, you have started offline first.
Yes.
And now you're
Offline
going
first.
online.
Yes.
Amazing. So what are the key successful things which you have done moving from offline to online?
See, online and offline cannot be separated in this day and age. I would say that because, typically a customer journey map would start online. They would see an ad on their phone, start driving towards the shop. They would like they'll see a billboard on the way, or they'll see the VM of the store on the way. The salesperson would interact. There'll be digital payments. They'll be influenced by the Google reviews before making the purchase, and their post-purchase would also require a lot of digital remarketing campaigns to them. So it's a very cohesive environment which we live in now, and it's very omni-channel. So it has to be adopted.
Cool. But can you drive your customers who are actually coming into your stores towards your online channel?
Yeah, you can always do it through WhatsApps or your digital communication again, so that it's more convenient for them to make the purchase sitting at home.
Okay. So you mean to say the conversational commerce has to be more personalized, based on the customer lifetime value and their personification. Can I say that?
Yeah, it has to be more personalized, and the influence of social media these days, you can always reach out to the customer again, and through social media, the influencer marketers and your storytelling can really impact the repurchase from the same client. So it increases the lifetime value of the client.
Right. Okay. Now, just wanted to check with Jatin. Now, let me understand. So you're one of the finest brands out there, Blackberries. It has its own uniqueness in terms of the offerings, either in terms of formals, casuals, and especially the suitings, right? So being more an offline oriented, now the focus is all moving towards D2C, which is like business to customer kind of a model. What are all the different digitization you as BlackBerry has done over the period? Because it's more promoter driven is what we think. How did you do it?
See, if we'll talk about offline to online, that's a totally different world. But that's required by the industry as well and consumers. What consumer needs when, that's we can finalize and we can realize after some time. Like if you talk about online business, how consumer is behaving and how they are thinking, that's the thought which is not coming offline. In terms of when consumer is coming to the store offline, I am talking about, he is having a particular thought what he want to buy. He wanted to buy a suit, buy a shirt, formal, casual, or party wear, you can say. But when online we are looking at, he search everything in terms of every garment. Second thing, like the journey you said, in current life cycle for consumers, it is more important online business just because of what they need, what time they need, and how convenient it is in terms of reaching to them. They are, earlier what happened is they are coming to us to buy the products. For them,
So it's like a reverse marketing.
correct. So now it is like we are working online platform. It is not for consumer only. It is for our backend management as well. In terms of you can say product life cycle, which is you can say third parties. We are involving third parties for right product on right time with minimize of inventories. So that is there, which is helping us in terms of liquidating more inventories and with the more stock turn. So that is there.
So maybe just on the contrary to understand, Vijay has started all his stores in the airports. Okay, whereas Shake and Blackberries are more in the market. My question to Vijay is, why did you think airport is the right place to start? Or is it because of the cohort, or is it the niche placing?
Yeah, honestly, it was not something as a planned or something, honestly. We started with zero. Whatever the number of stores we opened, around 50 plus, it's all happened in a span of 14 to 18 months. Believe it or not, from Jan to till today, we have opened 30 plus stores in only airports. So it just happened. It's a consequence of one after the another.
But there should be some reason, right?
But
It cannot be
maybe
accidental billionaires, right?
but I worked in an airport format for more than 10 years. Maybe that is one inclination towards a particular format. But some XS has got a particular format. Somebody is good in D2C, somebody is good in high street destination, somebody is very good in a mall, for example. Probably male, for our forte is only airports. Somewhere in the corner, we like that, what you call the zeal or the power of uh, having a zero customer acquisition cost. Honestly, we don't need any kind of a branding. We don't do any
So
kind of.
it's more like an
Uh,
organic walk-in, just to
yeah,
want to
that's it.
explore, and if
I
you
need
like
not
it,
pay
you will
anything
stay.
for any to get somebody. Okay, people have to come to my store. They have to pass my store. So at least our only challenge is to have right place at a particular airport, मतलब where at least 90% of the passengers can pass through my store.
वहाँ पे
Maybe that is
24
one
घंटे
of the
दुकान
biggest
चलती है.
challenge for us internally.
Sorry, Siddhant, you were saying something?
I'm saying the shop runs 24 hours over there also.
Yes, that's one of the things.
Easier
also.
way to be available in front of the customer.
Double sale होनी चाहिए.
Actually, अगर आप normal retail की बात करें तो it's like into 3x, honestly. Maybe not in terms of the revenue, but yes, in terms of the operations, in terms of the zeal what we have, we need to have a little bit of nerves more.
So which
to
means
run
that your coverage in the airports is more better than online. लोग तो रात को सोते हैं ना तो ऑनलाइन कभी यूज नहीं होता है and your coverage is more higher.
Yeah, normally actually, because we don't have even a shutter also, honestly. No way we can even close also, whether it is there or not, passengers there or not, it has to be on a online.
So then my question to Siddhant would be, Siddhant, you are offering Indo-Western fusion kind of an offerings in the market for women.
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
No, my question is, Chic offers Indo-Western fusion type of dresses for women, right?
Right.
You should also be in airports, right? Because let's suppose if they're going out and they forget and they find something, will you be open to?
Getting a space is a very big challenge. So probably I'll connect with you after this session. You know, it's because there are very few airports as compared to the retail markets in India, and they're huge brands who want to actually get space at the airport, and we are actually that's our next line of expansion where we are looking at metro city airports, and we'll be looking at that. So soon you'll be seeing a chic store there as well.
Okay, so if in that format, do you also offer franchises?
See, it's a very high capital intensive model for the airports because of their security deposits and their interior, their fit out requirements. So it's very difficult to convince a franchise to get into that sort of a model. So it's more of a branding exercise and more visibility because you see the again, to add to that, the airport gets the right kind of clientele 24/7 as compared to a high street. So your visibility and your brand recognition is very high. I'm not very sure about the profitability and the ROI in that particular space.
Okay, so to Jatin, franchises are one of the key drivers for your growth in terms of the brand presence. So what about your thought process of franchises?
Like our vision, if I'll say BlackBerry's vision, both franchisee and company will be in positive manner. In terms of both of them can earn money. Rather than just open a store in franchisee world, that's not the matter of time. Like we can open a store, if the store is bleeding, that doesn't matter, we can increase more sale, more stores. But if we see ki, like franchisee is earning, we are earning, we can expand more with them in terms of individuals rather than we are searching for a new partners. So that's a strategy of the company which we are working on to increase number of doors rather than number of franchisees.
Cool. To the folks out there, we are talking to both the technology and the brand leaders out here. So we'd like to converge the thought process of retail with technology. So my question to Ashim. Ashim, see, you have all the clothing of brands out there. And how differentiate does the entire barcode has moved over to RFID and how it elevates the consumer experience is something would you like to share?
Yeah. See, if we look at we are basically identification and data capture technology. So when we call off auto ID, barcode and RFID are going to complement each other, and they do complement each other. It's like online and offline, O2O. Both complement. They are not competition to each other. But there are some limitations to barcode, like there is a line of sight limitation. Suppose a apparel is having a barcode and the barcode is inside, it's covered with a clothing or another cloth on the top. The line of sight, if you have to scan the whole heap, you need to isolate each and every barcode. But in case of RFID, you just run your handheld across and it scans it all. So what RFID is bringing in is the speed and the agility without compromising on the accuracy. So the cumbersome counting process, inventory process, why every retailer sitting out here, immaterial of the format, wouldn't you love to do your physical inventory every day, which is happening once in a year or once in 6 months? Now, the reason why you're not doing it every day is because it's a time consuming process. You know, a team of 10 to 15 people going to the store, scanning each and every product across hundreds and thousands of stores. But my customers today are doing a physical inventory every morning. And few of my customers are doing it twice a day because we can scan the tags at a speed of around 800 to 1000 apparels uniquely identified per minute. You know, so if a typical store with 10 to 20,000 apparel can be scanned in 10 to 15 minutes. So apart from this, the search functionality, because we are capturing the data very accurately and in a very agile manner, a lot of other analytics are being derived.
I want to stop you there. Sorry, that
yeah.
I want to ask to the founder and CEO sitting there. Sir,
Yeah.
do you want to have physical counting every day?
We we don't have it every day, but we would like to have it if it's an efficient way of doing it. Yeah, definitely, it always helps.
One of the biggest challenges for a retailer is the inventory management, honestly. But definitely, I think RFID is one of the key factors. It's like the future. But yes, it's been a long way it has come out. But I think in India, it's been always a mental block that RFID means zyada expensive.
Yep.
The implementation cost is very, technology is very advanced. How do you make use of that? Maybe that is one the factors which is maybe it's not to the level of what RFID should be in India. Much cheaper. I don't know. Definitely, it does not cheaper. But the barcode is like the number of, for example, in one of the clothing store which has got maybe 10,000 square feet, the number of SKUs what we have, the cost involved in putting in RFID, maintaining that, maybe that is one the mindset goes. But more you see that how can you ease your work profile. I think that even if you're able to reduce the time in a certain way or the pilferage in a certain way, I think the cost involved that is very nominal. I think he agrees on that.
Yeah, I
It's not,
agree totally with you.
it's not just the only cost of implementation, it's the cost of the time,
Maintenance, I would say.
accuracy we can have, and what are the kind of reports we can have, the lengthening of that, the pilferages, all kinds of things be more accurate actually.
See,
And what about you, Jatin? Sorry,
sorry.
let. What do you say? You are one of the stakeholders for operations of BlackBerry.
I
So you
wanted to
want to
add,
you want to ask.
like we have used RFID in our booking sessions because that's a unique code. But in routine life, when I'm comparing a tag with barcode versus RFID, that cost is increased as per my knowledge. But might be it is different from my thought, but as of now, it is more costlier than a barcode system. Secondly, you rightly said we can reduce time for audit, but that audit is required once in a month.
Ashim,
So,
it's all yours.
yeah, I mean, this is interesting, you know, I like this. So, let me first tell you that our customers like Zudio, you know, with an average selling price of less than 500 products. We have customers like Reliance Trend, you know, which is less than $7, you know. We have some pilots where the average selling price is less than 150 rupees. So it's a solution provider's responsibility how to derive value from something which a customer desires or wishes to do, you know, and how to build use cases, how to build cost centers so the ROI is justified. All our customers are getting a ROI in 9 to 12 months today. Okay, there are ways and means. We Indians have found out better ways of implementing RFID than the Western world. You know, we have a much better sustainable and reusable model where the cost of implementing a RFID solution, especially in fashion, is less than barcode. Barcode. Okay, the per transaction cost, you know, and it's not only a sustainable model, it's a very environment friendly model, it is a very Our customers are saving, building carbon footprint.
So can I
points
say
on
that,
it.
just like a magic wand, can you change from barcode to RFID?
I mean, barcode will still be there. We will not replace a barcode anytime, It is going to be there. But there are use cases which are to be built, like not only in the store, the biggest ROI is in the DCs and the warehouses, in the supply chain, the inbound, outbound logistics. Like the inventory, you would not want to open your box to scan the 50 items inside, right? And what if your entire handling unit, a carton, is scanned in less than 2 seconds? You are just passing it through a tunnel and it is getting scanned. That is where the real ROI lies. Analytics, in a fitting room, wouldn't you want to know, like, which is the SKU which has been tried the most?
Ashim will come to analytics. I wanted to stop.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'll hold that.
Niraj, there is data all across. We follow this metaphor, knowledge is wealth. You being a BI retail company known for analytics, when you have too much of data, or this is what we would say too much of data, but for you it is the source of everything. So what has BI retail done for enhancing the retailer's thought process to enhance their customer's journey? What have you done?
So I'll start with the journey that we have seen. We launched BIRetail about 16 years ago at an RA event in Mumbai. 16 years ago, when I was attending a conference like this, when we introduced ourselves to say that we do BI for retail, we had a very blank kind of an expression on the face of retailers. What is BI, right? Fast forward now to 2023. Everybody understands what analytics is, what BI is. Essentially, the problem has shifted, not gone away. Earlier, in 2008, when we launched, retailers had a challenge of bringing the right data into a format, let's say a dashboard or a report.
The same.
So you're saying even now it is. I'm sorry, but Manika, I don't agree with you. Now
Why is it?
the problem has actually become inverse. Today, every person in this room, including my mother, actually sees too much data all the time, right? We are all looking at reports, we are all looking at dashboards. How many of us are actually converting that data?
I'll ask it to the audience if they want to
decisions?
answer.
Yeah. I don't think anybody here has a problem of seeing the data today, right? So what we have done is over 15 years, we've realized that the challenge has shifted from not being able to see data 15 years ago to being able to, you're swimming in an ocean of data at this moment, but you don't know what to do with it. So I guess we are continuing to educate retailers and brands to say that your data is going to become useful to your business if it goes through a translation or an interpretation process. Data by itself is useless. I'll give you a simple example. You're seeing, let's say, a store-wise sales report. You've got 120 stores. You will see that store 1 is doing, has done a sales of 4.8 crores YTD, year to date. Now that is data. But when you look at 4.8 crores, that intuitively does not help you in any way. In your mind, unconsciously, subconsciously, you're looking at 4.8 crores. In your mind, you're running a comparison. You're benchmarking it against something. Maybe your target was 5.6 crores and you're saying, I've reached 85%. Or your target was 4 and you said, I've reached 120%. Data by itself is not useful, guys. What is useful is when the data gets interpreted. So the basic journey for data starts by converting your data into what we call information, and over time get an inference out of it. So I think that's the journey most brands, retailers struggle with, and I think that's something that we've been fortunate, whoever we've worked with, we've learned a lot, and we've actually put processes and techniques in place to take quick decisions. When you're looking at a report which has 50 rows, and I'll tell you honestly, it's rare to find retailers who create reports with 50 rows. I have seen retailers create reports with 5,000 rows and 500 columns. who's the genius in this room who can make sense out of 2.5 million cells on a screen? So that's the technique. That's a change in thought process.
I'm not an Einstein. Maybe Siddhant, you want to.
Yeah, so there's like an ocean of data available these days, and it's that it should be coming to you in a format where you're able to take a decision on it. That is extremely critical, and in fact, there should be predictive analytics as well, because tomorrow, if you want a particular target to be achieved, what you need to do, the computer needs to tell you. So a lot of tech companies probably need to head there as well. So right now, we just don't want to see what is happened with you in the past, but through that information, what can you do in the future? You need to be there.
So I don't know if I did a session earlier in the morning where I was actually asking questions.
So I missed that. Yeah.
No problem. You're absolutely right, Siddhant. So essentially, what has unfortunately happened to all of us in retail is that we look at a dashboard and a report because somebody thought it is a good idea to see that report. But what we try to bring as a change in the company is don't look at a report unless you have a problem that you're trying to solve with that report. So change the thought process. Say, I don't want to look at sales report. I want to find out which stores are not doing well and why. Because knowing that a store is not doing well is necessary but not sufficient. You should have your analytics be able to tell you why the store is not doing well. And going forward, like Siddhant said, not just tell you why it's not doing well, but also tell you what you should do to correct the reason why it's not doing well, right? I gave this example in the morning, and then go forward and say, hey, I lost sales because of this problem in this store. Now I want my analytics to tell me before the problem
So
happens.
to your previous statement, Ashim is actually sorting out the problem by having RFID inside the store by merchandising.
So you're absolutely right. I mean, we work together, we look at
So-
working together. Unless he captures data, we can't do anything. So
No, but your source of truth is from various peripheral systems, but his source of data is right from the stores. I mean, how would you look at Ashim?
Hello. Yeah, as Niraj mentioned, so we break it into 4 steps: data capture, data communication, data processing, and then the analytics, data analysis. So we are in the first 50% of it, the data capture and the data communication. And there are we are like what blockchain is for the digital space, we are for the physical product. So we are giving the data of the source and the destination. So what we are capturing is fairly accurate, agile, and latest data. And I think that any analytics built on top of it is going to bring in more business value because of RFID. And apart from the digital analytics, we are also giving some other analytics, which I was mentioning earlier, like we have something called as fitting room analytics. So when we do a pug marking of a particular product across the supply chain, the granularity is not only in the DC and the store or the manufacturing, but within the store also, we do a pug mark of the product in the fitting room. So now with RFID, we can say that this particular style or product, how many times it has been tried versus how many times it has been sold. So the conversion analytics. So this is very, very precious data. It not only gives you what is attracting the eyeball and what is getting sold, but it is also giving you some other data like what is your fitting room occupancy rate? Do you really need 3 fitting rooms or 4 fitting rooms in your store? And this data can be used, for the next season design. Maybe the fabric was not good, the fit was
Perfect.
not
Now,
good.
to
Yeah.
answer contemplate your question, Vijay, what do you think the data what BIRetail and i-TEK RFID is providing you, if you are their customer, will be sufficient for retail brand expansion, the topic of today, in both online and offline?
Definitely. I think that is one of the key factors of what we should, as retailers, to enhance our, what you call, improvement of business also. Honestly, it can be one of the key factors to analyze the data much faster, accurately, honestly. That's what definitely it's going to be the future.
What do you think, Jatin?
So I agreed, like Data is the main key highlights for any business, which we need to analyze every time in different manners. And as rightly said, data is the start point and end point to analyze any business profitability
Cool.
and taking corrective measures on time.
And what do you think, Siddhant?
Data is like what business is data, right? So, so you can't really do without it. Initially, yes, when you don't know anything, uh, you need to experiment with a couple of things. But once you've matured as a company, you really need to look in your past and see what the future holds for you. So, for example, even data in terms of RFIDs, barcodes, there's data beyond that as well. There's like, there's online data where you should open a store, what products you should make, what customers you should target, what is the price point where, world sell, and
So
what are the
you,
marketing
so you
activities that
all
you.
agree to the fact that data is important and data is absolute.
I think data is business, like I said. So, yeah.
Can I
Consumer is a
disagree?
business, I would say.
Can I?
No, I'm saying to the retail branch, a
But I
consumer is.
feel you have data sometimes when you don't use that. I think the biggest problem is that in India, I think is it's not been rightly used also.
Yeah,
It
true.
should, it should enable you to take a decision, like I said. So.
Yes, Niraj.
I just had a point. I think about a year back, uh, I did a session on a similar platform where I spoke about 3 myths and 3 mantras in data analytics. And my first myth was data is the most crucial part of my business. And I called it a myth because while data is integral and very, very pivotal, right? My understanding is all of us make a mistake by assuming that data is going to solve my problem. It is not. It is your ability to use that data correctly that is going to bring value to your business. That's my reading.
Exactly, the usage is what we look at. So now, understanding what usage is, Siddhant, I just want to understand what are the, you know, let's suppose you have a lot of data of your customers and everything. Especially now you are in more offline model, and your 20% revenue comes from online, and you are present internationally in both Singapore and Dubai, if I'm correct. The more business hubs where you have a lot of money out there. Okay, but how are you ensuring that your customers have the best of their experiences in your offline stores?
See, like I explained the customer journey map, that how it's retail is all about the experience. When you're talking about offline retail, it's not just your website, because website you don't really have interaction with the store or with the salesperson who's selling to you. So when it comes to offline, you have a lot of different factors and a lot of other senses of the customer gets triggered. So for example, the aroma in the store, or for example, the music in the store, the salesperson talking the same language as your online store and your social media. It's very important that it's a very cohesive experience for the customer, and he just feels that there's validation and there's like that sense of gratification for the customer, instant gratification, which they can achieve at the offline store. So, and we are also implementing virtual trials and augmented reality, those kind of mirrors where in it
Smart
makes,
mirrors.
smart mirrors where people, get that sense of an extra experience. And of course, your hot walls and your VMs and all your marketing can always influence the purchase behavior of the customer.
Cool. And what do you think, Vijay, about the same lines?
As I said, no, somewhere in the corner, we as a retailers see data as only a form of sale. Honestly, somewhere we should understand that can be a form of your enhancement of business. What is consumer behavior? What are the new things we can do? What are the categories we can add on? A lot of things can be used on that actually, but ultimately somewhere we stick to that. Sale kitna la sakta hai.
Any wow moment of your consumers sharing their stories out there in social media?
Honestly, it's more an impulse we have. Okay, there's a lot of people come and tell the category what we serve, in particular in a format what we are something different than what it was.
Yes,
As I
Siddhant.
said, it was just a matter of small span of time we had the number of stores. So that's one of the things.
Yeah, apart from the the customers posting videos and photographs on social media and sharing us, it's eventually the amount of money they spend on us. So 50% or 60% of our revenues actually come from our returning customers. That's again what data says, and so we're happy, and that's how we are flattered by them making by making them spend dollars on us. So that is a validation for us as a brand.
And what about you, Jatin? Any wow experiences from BlackBerry's consumer experience?
Uh, Consumer is like wow factor always. Whenever they say
You
about
say
the
the
brand,
consumer walking into the BlackBerries is a wow.
no, whenever consumers say about the brand, that is always wow.
Okay.
So that's a thought. And I just wanted to add in terms of data. Like data is one piece, how we are looking at. But same time, data is the result of past. What we missed, that is not captured in data. So we need to add data along with front-end experience. Then only data will help us, as per me. So that is a point I wanted to raise.
So now, Niraj, a very quick question. It's to the technology guys out there. You know, retail converging with technology presence in both online and offline has always its limitations. Okay. How do you foresee how the entire tech can transform the retail industry? It's a question to both Ashim and Neeraj.
Sorry, what was the question? How
How
do
do
you?
you foresee the retail tech transforming the entire business service offerings of retail brands out there?
uh, Customer experience and things like that. Sure. I think as a brand expands, as the retailers expand, uh, the challenges grow with them, right? So the challenge to be rooted to what the customer wants is, I think, the primary challenge. The challenge to make sure that you're servicing the customer the way the customer wants is, a secondary challenge. So being, again, product market fit, right? We spoke about, I'm just narrating a few use cases, right? I think a good analytics tool will be able to give you what we call the customer of one kind of an data analytics experience, where today customers coming, researching online, getting into a store, buying offline, and vice versa, both of that is the most common thing that happens, right? We have a challenge in offline where it's difficult to capture, unless, like Ashim said, it's sometimes very difficult to capture non-transactional data. If somebody comes in and tries 7 clothing and buys one, unless he uses Ashim's RFID, most retailers don't have that data of the other 6 that he did not buy, which is very abundantly available if a customer comes online to your brand website, looks at 7 different product detail pages. Even if he doesn't transact, that data is available. So the ability to tie online experience of a customer with an offline purchase, etc., is what an analytics should do. We do a fair amount of personalization. I just met a gentleman, a retailer, just a little while back, who said, we have a tool that is actually recommending us to sell uh, certain women's items to a male, right? Just because he had bought certain women's items as a gift for somebody else, right? He's got 80% of his transaction are male gender related, and he has some 20%. So personalization is a huge opportunity. Unfortunately, you need to be exacting in being able to predict what to recommend, because when you're recommending, you get one chance with the customer, right? And in that one chance, if you recommend a wrong product, you basically lost the plot. So it's very important.
So can I say personalization as hyper personalization? Can we mention personalization as hyper personalization?
So personalize, we are putting words where we say, mega and peta and tera, etc. There's no limit to how far you can go. But yeah, personalization has to be super, super accurate according to us.
Ashim, what do you think?
Yeah, I think of without tech, uh, as an enabler, in today's world, it's very difficult to operate any business. What we are doing today is all wireless tech. We are not wired to the everywhere around us is tech. But if we look at how we are transforming, I would rather put the use cases in interest of time in three buckets. One is the operational efficiency, how we are increasing the operational efficiency with our supply chain solutions and all. Second is cost optimization, with the help of tech, how the cost can be optimized. Third is, and the most important especially in retail, consumer retails, is how we can enrich the customer experience. So in our case, it is our customer's customer whom we think about, because my customer is a retailer and my solutions have to add value to the end consumer. So how we can enrich that experience. And as Mr. Gupta mentioned some time back, at the end of the day, we have to deliver a physical product with tech, with digital, everything. And we are talking of predictive deliveries. What we are moving towards is prescriptive deliveries. So instead of predicting, we should be able to prescribe, and that should, I think, what the technology should give the power or empower the retailers. And
What if there is a combination of prescriptive and predictive?
I mean, it's a graduation.
I was just
What I mean to say, if you see predictive to prescriptive, the biggest logistics company in the world, it's not UPS or FedEx or anybody, it is Amazon. They are doing prescriptive since many years. They actually can prescribe you whether you want a delivery on Sunday between 9 to 12 or Monday from 6 to 9. And that's what I
So
mean.
it's
It's
basically
only
an
tech
evolution
enabled.
of technology that enables the
Yeah,
retail businesses
it's
to
the
do.
application. How they are
I think
using
just
it.
very simply,
Yeah.
you can't say either or, right? Predictive is kind of telling you what might go wrong. Prescriptive is further telling you what you should do to solve or prevent that from going wrong. So I think it's one after the other. It's an evolution.
Moreover, what you are giving multiple options to your customer, and it's like a doctor prescribing you a medicine, by diagnosing what is happening, and that is what is needed today with the help of tech.
So, thank you, gentlemen. Before we end this, okay, sorry, Siddharth, please.
I just want to add that these days there's a new concept of live selling. Of everybody must have heard of that girl of just looking like a wow. So she was it's doing the memes. Don't look convinced about it, Manikanth. You've not.
I'm not a meme
You're
person.
not aware of it. Is anyone aware of the meme of? Yeah. So just looking like a wow girl. So she was a live seller. So the the personalization angle, which I just wanted to contribute to. So online you can also do that through live selling as a module. Instead of virtual is not just your website only. So you have live selling modules as well, and wherein you can always do your query resolutions very fast, and uh, they can also do prescriptive and you suggest the kind of products online. So it is doing the round. It started back in China, and now India started adopting that module as well.
Nice. Okay, before we end this, just a single line takeaways from everyone. Vijay, to start.
Honestly, we are in this peer. It's going to be good things ahead for us, honestly.
Siddharth.
So nothing related to this conversation, but I always say this particular line that speed is always better than perfection. So just keep moving fast.
I remember the hare and tortoise story. I'm able to remember the hare and tortoise story.
So
Yeah.
Slow and steady wins the race, right? Previously, they used to say.
yeah.
Uh, I just say, just make use of your data intelligently, and I think there's so much you can get.
Jatin.
It's all about how to use data, when, and for what purpose.
Ashim.
Use RFID.
So, to all those who are not aware who I am, just a 2 seconds introduction. I think 2 seconds is over. But my name is Manikanth. I head the entire retail and product development for a partnership company of SAP called Enpersoll. It's Enterprise Performance Solutions. We short call it as Enpersoll. And we are the retail technology partner across all the peripherals and the main databases. We are on the stall number 11. Please do visit us. Thank you.